When radio was raw and wild, PJ was in charge. Producing radio and TV for some of the greats in the industry, PJ has seen it all. From Disco Duck to What the F***. This is Streaming Legends with PJ.
All right, welcome to Streaming Legends, and I am excited today, guys, because I have worked so hard to get this interview with the main man, Vic The Brick Jacobs, my buddy. We worked together. He told me he couldn't do the interview when I first invited him months ago. Said he had a bigger name on the other line. Just couldn't do it. And there was no way. We couldn't shake him loose, you know. But now, through the magic of Zoom, we have, ladies and gentlemen, sports legend, Vic The Brick Jacobs. Here he is, Victor.
Oh, feeling you. And I know Stephen A. Smith was too busy to do the interview, so you called me.
Yeah, but, he's over here. He's drinking coffee. All right, Stephen, you hang out, buddy. Victor, first of all, the obvious thing first, before our friendship and everything else, how long does it take you to garb up? And please describe what you're wearing.
Well, I'm wearing the Kobe Bryant 24 jersey because I am so enamored. I am so really in awe still of the great Kobe Bean Bryant, the Mamba.
Everybody is.
I miss him so much. There's an incredible void on the planet without Kobe. But every day I touch his jersey. I wear his jersey. I read magazines about Kobe. My beloved bride, Yuko Sakamoto, just got me some beautiful magazines on Kobe. Mm-hmm. And I just keep the spirit alive. Keep the spirit of the Mamba alive. So I'm wearing the Kobe jersey. I'm also wearing a purple sort of blanket around my neck.
Yeah, that looks like some kind of a robe or horse blanket. What is it?
Well, it's sort of a robe.
Yeah?
It's a wacky robe.
Yeah.
And on my head, I have some rabbit fur, mm-hmm. which was always my go-to lid when I went to Laker games.
Right.
And, of course, staying in front of Kobe's locker maybe 1,000 times. I think back upon it, and it's so vivid to me. He is so vivid. I mean, I would just go to his locker before the game.
Right.
And hang out with him for maybe a half hour and just throw down Zen verse, throw down Bruce Lee, throw down samurai stuff, and just exchange the way of the warrior.
Let's talk about that because you had such a relationship with Kobe. Obviously, I mean, you saw the man naked.
Yeah, sure.
Of course, sure. I mean, we don't have to go into great detail about that, but I heard he was well endowed.
Kobe is a warrior.
Yeah, of course he is.
Kobe is a warrior, and forever will be a warrior. That's who he is.
Yeah, and he carried a javelin. We know that. We know about Kobe. But so you were there at the locker. You'd show up in that outfit, right? That exact outfit. This is what Kobe was seeing.
I would also probably be wearing a Laker poncho.
Okay.
And a stainless steel necklace created by my friends in Linwood.
Okay. And
and of course my bamboo. My bamboo.
I see your bamboo behind you, by the way.
I live by the rules of the bamboo. Bend.
Yep.
Do not break. It's
sticking up behind you like it's the okay sign, Everything's cool.
Yeah.
Right up for USC, one of the two. But so Kobe, when you first arrived and Kobe would see you, what would be his first words to you? I mean, what did he call you?
He called me Vic.
Vic?
And he embraced the whole shtick.
He did.
He embraced it. He loved it because he was very one with the warrior way.
He was, wasn't he? He was Zen.
And he was very one with Bruce Lee.
Mm-hmm.
And he would always try to expand his mind. That was the beauty of Kobe. I mean, he would call Michael Jackson on the phone and try to absorb some knowledge from Michael Jackson. Uh, this is this is the way Kobe is. He would call Michael Jordan, which no one really knew about,
Right.
and he had a very strong relationship with Michael Jordan. Uh, asking advice and counsel from Michael, who he loved, and emulated his game and his skill set. So, you know, Kobe's depth of character was never revealed until he retired. 20 years in the purple and gold,
Yep.
and then when he retired, he was unbelievable. He won an Oscar for his work for his short video
Yep.
of the basketball, which was incredible. Um, and he was just a giver, just a beautiful giver to his three daughters
You're
and,
very,
and Vanessa. I mean,
yeah,
he was
you're
a
very
sports.
zen yourself. And so did Kobe ever, because he, like you said, he liked to dig into people. Did he ever ask you for any advice or, get any of your perspectives on anything that you could tell us about?
He was never that desperate. No, he would ask me about the samurai philosophy because he knew I was very very into samurai warriors,
Right.
and he would ask me about the various samurai principles. Live through death,
Yep.
show no fear,
Yep.
ultimate self-sacrifice, and
Yeah.
he loved that, and he loved the tales of the samurai, and he loved the tales of Bushido,
Hmm.
the way of the warrior. He loved that. He loved that,
Yeah.
and that's why Phil Jackson and himself uh, was so close because Phil is very zen
Oh, yeah.
and Kobe is very zen, and they connected on that level as well as basketball, which basketball geniuses, Kobe Bryant and Phil Jackson.
Oh, yeah. Total.
Total.
I saw him a couple times when I used to go to the games a lot when you were there. And of course, you were standing out in the crowd because you were in that outfit and you were there. And I saw Kobe gesture to you several times.
Oh, we always were connecting on
Yeah.
the court. We were connecting.
He'd make a basket and he'd gesture to you. I'd see it.
Well, of course, the all time great gesture was when he hit his first game-winning playoff shot against Phoenix. I believe it was 2002,
Hmm.
and I ran on the court
Yeah.
and I broke through the Laker girls
Yeah.
and the phalanx of photographers
Yeah.
and was able to get right behind Kobe
Yeah.
and just bring the bamboo up and just scream with him as he was evoking a primal scream.
That's,
And of course, I never heard the end of it because I was breaking rules,
yes.
but I would do it all again
Yeah.
to be with Kobe in that moment.
And then the police drug you off.
Well, I was lucky. I was lucky. I was not handcuffed.
No.
I was not put in a holding cell.
I think you knew the right person. That's why you weren't.
Well, John Block took it easy on me.
Yeah. Tom.
Early heat, and then sort of the heat like eroded a little bit. He gave me a break,
Yeah.
but it was an outlandish move by myself. I don't know what took over the spirits. The I felt Kobe's shot, that
Yeah.
playoff winning
Wow.
shot
Yeah.
was just incredible,
Yeah.
and I had to be on the court to celebrate with him.
So you just broke through the Laker girls,
Yes,
which, by the way, I would have.
Lisa Schroeder and company.
I just wanted to get with the Laker girls. I was fine with that. But you
Ah,
you broke through the Laker girls,
broke through.
pushed them to the side, and you went forward and to get to Kobe.
I said, "Girls, I got to go. I got to get on the court. Please, give me an opening here."
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they gave me the opening, and I was able to get on the court and just made a beeline for Kobe. And
That's
it was an amazing moment for me. And you can see it on video. The famous video when Kobe hits the shot and he starts hitting his chest. And there's myself behind Kobe, with the bamboo and the fur.
yep.
And it was a magical moment for me to be, so close to Kobe in that glorious, glorious sequence.
I think what's amazing about your relationship with him, Vic, is that a lot of people, even to this day, don't really know how deep that relationship was. I do because I knew you so well and we worked together, but a lot of people don't know the kind of stuff that you know. What is another little thing that you think that people really don't know about Kobe Bryant that's never really been revealed? Do you have anything like that that stands out in your mind when you think of Kobe and you think of nobody even knows this about Kobe, you know?
He really loved Shaq, but he couldn't live with Shaq, unfortunately. And that was a terrible schism in the Laker Foundation,
Yeah.
because Kobe and Shaq and Kobe, that was the foundation of the dynasty.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And after they had gone back to back to back, then they got blown out, by Detroit, and then things sort of unraveled. But he really loved Shaquille, but he couldn't stand that Shaquille, didn't work as hard as him. And a little anecdote: Kobe and Shaq were really on the brink of a breakup. I saw the whole thing, of course. I was there every day
Yeah.
in the locker room. I was closer than most people to seeing the Shaq Kobe, breakdown.
Yeah.
And so I took it upon myself. I wrote letters to Mitch Kupchak, the general manager, John Black, the media relations guru, to please allow me to mediate a deal with Kobe and Shaq. That's all they need. Right now, there's so much friction.
Yeah.
They need a calm place to just sit and talk, and let me be the mediator, because I can show them the way of the championships. If they break up, which, their egos were so out of control, both Kobe and Shaquille's ego
Yeah.
were so out of control. But I thought I could settle those egos in a room, and I suggested the Bahamas.
Yeah. Oh,
I thought that would be a meeting place.
yeah.
Go
Yeah.
to the Bahamas.
Good idea.
Everyone is happy.
Yep.
Everyone is serene and calm. Unfortunately, they would not go for it, and they said, "Thank you, Vic, very much, but we can handle this on our own."
So
And of course,
they didn't entertain the offer. I'm sure the guys never heard about it because they didn't.
no,
Right. Yeah.
no.
I think
I was denied.
Yeah.
I was denied.
Yeah.
I think I could have saved the Lakers for at least a couple championships if we had just gotten Kobe and Shaq on the same page.
I think so too. They were rolling. Now, because you were in the locker room and because you had that unique perspective, when they just a regular game, when they'd come in, would they talk to each other? Would they say hi? Would they say, get together and talk about the game, or would they just kind of ignore each other?
In the locker room, it was pretty cold.
Oof.
It was pretty cold. Shaq would entertain the media.
Yeah.
And, Cole would, be with Gary Vitti in the training room, getting taped up and iced and getting ready for the game.
Yeah.
While Shaq was entertaining the media.
Yeah.
And, Cole would like, give a look to Shaq, like, "What are you doing, man? We get focused for this game." He really wanted Shaq to focus.
I know.
And that wasn't Shaq's game. That wasn't Shaq's mentality.
Yeah. He didn't like Shaq's work ethic at all. But I think one of the things, the difference is that being the size that Shaq was, and playing the game that he played, he didn't have to do the same things that Kobe had to do. Kobe, had to do everything. He had to run that team. Shaq just had to get the ball and he could take it to the basket. So I think, of course it could have been better if Shaq had a different work ethic, but what he did worked for him.
And don't forget, Shaquille was always pounded inside by three guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that really took a toll on Shaquille. And he never got the benefit of a break, because the big man never gets love or compassion from the refs. So he'd always have to break through three guys,
right,
to get his 30.
Yeah.
Kobe was, of course, more of the gazelle. He was more, his baskets came inside, outside. He worked hard for them, but Shaquille, I think, paid a very physical price for his baskets.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
And Kobe a lot, would take a 25-foot jumper with, no stress there. When he drove the lane, Kobe also, I thought he never got enough calls.
Yeah.
That's just me. When you attack the rack, you should get calls.
Yeah.
Because you're going in, like right now, basketball is so almost irrelevant, because all we're doing is shooting threes. Kobe would have hated this. Kobe would have hated the game as it has evolved right now.
I think you're right, 100%. He was such a finesse player, just to stand back and shoot threes, even though that it's a gift to be able to do that. But he was such a finesse player, and he loved that part of the game so much that I think you're right. I think he wouldn't like it as much now.
And also, Kobe played excellent defense that no one really talked about.
Yeah.
Played excellent defense and rebounded the ball sensationally in that second showdown with the Celtics. After the Celtics destroyed the Lakers the year before, the next year,
Yeah.
the Pau Gasol years, and the Meta year, Kobe had an off shooting night in the Game 7 against the Celtics. But he collected like 12, 13 rebounds and played sensational defense.
Yeah. Thing I loved about Kobe is he'd stand on the court during the game, and if you were there, you could hear him. Someone challenged him, he'd laugh and he'd put up money right there. He'd say, "Okay, right now, next shot, $100,000. If you think I can't make it," he'd say that kind of stuff to players, and of course they'd back down because they basically knew he could do it, especially if he got pissed off a little bit, right?
Do not challenge Kobe.
Yeah,
never challenge Kobe because you will bear the brunt of the loss.
His
skill set is so vast.
Yeah,
and I talk of him, in like a present tense, but in my mind, he's within me, and he's within millions.
Yep.
And not just in Los Angeles, around the planet. I mean, he was the first to really go to China, cultivate the Chinese market with basketball. He was such a pioneer as well. He loved the game so much, and he wanted to really expanded it to China.
Yeah.
Big favorite in Europe.
Yep.
I mean, Kobe is universal, and that's why
he really is. Yeah.
I am so enamored with him.
Yeah.
Always will be, and I'm so lucky to have spent quality time with him.
No, you really are. You're one of the few that really got that kind of an inside out type of look in a field, and been able to watch the evolution of Kobe Bryant over the years. But here's a crazy thing I wanted to mention to you. I always thought you were nuts. Well, you are nuts, Vic, but I love you. But
I'm a little muy loco.
Yeah, you are. But you had the opportunity, not only Kobe, but let's talk about Shaq for a minute. Shaq wanted one thing from you more than anything in the world. And I kept saying, before we say what it is, I kept saying, Vic, give it to this man. He's ruling the world. He will love you forever. Give it to him. He wants it. Every time he sees you, he asks you for the same thing. And every time you say no, you won't give it to him. Tell everybody what that is.
My fur hat?
That's right. The one you... Shaq wanted that thing so badly. He would beg you for it every time. And every time you'd say no.
I said, Shaq, it's my signature hat. What am I going to do?
It's Shaq. I'd always say the same thing. I'd say, it's Shaq asking you for it. Guess what? You will be blessed by him forever if he's around in your hat.
In retrospect, it was a egregious error on my part. Let me just tell you a short Shaq story.
Yeah.
In the first championship that the Lakers won in 2000, the first of three.
Yeah.
And there was no LA Live at that point. It was just a parking lot.
Right.
And there was 1 million people in the street.
Yeah.
And they had the victory buses came from City Hall down to the downtown Hoop Dojo.
Yep.
Staples Center at the time.
Yeah.
And the 3 buses held the Lakers, and I'm covering it for the radio station. And I'm on the bottom of the bus, and suddenly Shaq sees me, talking into the microphone. Yada yada yada, and he says, "Vic, come on the bus." I said, "Really?" He says, "Yeah, Vic, come on the bus." So he brought me on the bus, the victory bus, because I go right to the back with Derek Fisher.
Yeah,
and I'm on the victory bus with the Lakers, where media had never been on the victory bus.
Right.
They were never allowed on the victory bus.
I was going to say, you're not allowed if you're the media to be on those players.
I'm on the victory bus, and I'm blowing kisses to the crowd. 1 million people in the street with Derek Fisher, D. Fish, and myself.
Right.
In the back of the bus. And because Shaquille invited me up. I mean, forever blessed.
But that's what I'm talking about. Think how big that's huge. Could have even been bigger if he's wearing your hat.
You're telling me?
I mean, what are you thinking? You would have been on the championship plane. You would have been flying around with him, wearing your hat, and then you go and you get another hat.
I learned my lesson because Yasiel Puig,
Yeah,
the meteoric Dodger electric player out of Cuba,
yeah,
who has some sensational years,
yes.
we're celebrating, I think, a division championship, and he wanted my fur hat to celebrate it. I gave it to him.
Yeah.
Yasiel, si se Puig.
And he was wearing it in the pictures. You could see it. He's wearing your hat.
Yes, he wore the soaked fur.
Yeah.
Which after the celebration, it's gone.
Yeah.
But it had its moment.
But it had its moment.
It had its moment.
Kind of like Puig. he had his moment.
He said Puig.
Yeah.
I think he's still playing in Korea.
Is he?
I think with the Heroes, the Kowloon Heroes. I believe he's been with them a couple years, Puig. But listen, don't get me started with the Dodgers.
No, we're going to talk about the Dodgers, not today probably, because actually we should leak at this point that we're doing a new show together called what's the name of it, Victor? And only the way you could say it?
Feeling You with Vic The Brick Jacobs and PJ.
That's right.
And we will cover the entire gamut of the sports world, the entertainment world.
Yes.
We'll talk Oscars. We'll talk music. We'll talk stuff we got to do. Like, how about the rats getting into car engines the last 10 years? How do we solve this problem? We're going to solve problems.
Yeah.
We're going to solve problems.
I actually have the answer to that. We're going to talk about everything. We're going to talk about this crazy NFL coaching world. We're going to talk about all that stuff. We're going to break it down on that show. And that show, we're actually going to do that show right after this show. So,
wow, back to back?
Oh, yeah. So be looking.
Wow.
Feeling You with Vic the Brick and PJ. And just so people understand, Vic, when I met you, you were a man that wore a polo shirt and jeans every day. That was your uniform.
That was my thing.
Yeah, it was a polo shirt and jeans. And then what hit you to produce this?
Wow, what happened to my fashion freak out?
Yeah.
You're right, Paul. I was a jeans.
Yes.
A polo shirt, various polos.
Yes. You had all color.
I was a polo-a-palooza.
You had a different color every day. You looked like a rainbow. It was fantastic. Then all of a sudden, you showed up like
I don't know what happened. I think it would have to be when I met my beloved bride, Yuko Sakamoto.
The love of your life. And
the love of my life. She expanded my whole game.
Right.
And she was freedom. She gave me freedom.
But she doesn't dress like this.
No.
Thank God.
No, you're telling me. She's a beautiful dresser. She is a beautiful dresser.
She is. She's a beautiful woman. But I remember you guys came to the house. This is when the transformation first happened. You came to my house. We were going to have dinner or something. And I opened the door, and there you are, Vic Jacobs, Yuko. And you guys walk in. And I kind of, how you look and you close the door, and I look, and there are your shoes outside, lined up together, just like magically you disappeared from your shoes. So that was the beginning. I think that was the Asian transformation.
Great call by you, Paul. That's a great call, because Yuko basically showed me the way to not wear shoes in the house, which is the Japanese way.
Right.
Because you're tracking in dirt, basically, and germs.
And germs, yeah.
So, leave your shoes at the door.
That's right.
And that's the way to do it. And, we still do it. We still practice that etiquette. And I believe it works because it's smart and it's efficient and it's healthy.
Yeah, I think so. So let's do this, Victor, because I think I'm feeling like this is going to be part one of, we'll carry on with another, because we have so many great stories for Streaming Legends. We'll have you back. And
Yes, thank you.
We'll do part two, and we're going to go into, we have so much to talk about the Dodgers and just everything you could mention. I know all these stories that you've told me in the past, the great stories, more on the Lakers, more on the ownership of the Lakers, which we need to get to. There's great stuff there that we need to talk about,
Because you were always very close to Jeannie Buss.
Always. Yeah.
Always.
Yeah. So,
and she has a lot of I wouldn't call them problems. It's no problem when you own a multi-billion-dollar franchise,
right.
But she wants to get this team back into the glory days that her beloved father, the great Dr. Jerry Buss,
yes,
would want them, because right now they're almost irrelevant as a 6 seed, as a 5 seed, whatever seed they are. They're not competing for a championship.
No.
And the fans deserve that. They've supported them so vigorously over the many decades, and they deserve to see another championship team, and every year compete for a championship.
Yeah, I agree. They're ready, and Jeannie's such a sweet person and such a great
person.
She really wants to do this, not only for the fans, but also for her dad and the legacy of the Lakers. So it's going to happen. She's going to make it happen.
Yes.
But we need to talk about that. Tell some more great stories. We'll get into the Dodgers. We have great stories. The Dodgers, unbelievable stories. Just on and on we go. But I think we'll wrap now because, Vic, we got another show to do. We got a brand new show to do.
Let's rock and roll.
That's right. Hey, buddy, thank you so much for being here. You're amazing.
Well,
love you.
You're the best. You're the best, Paul. Thank you.
Thank you. And
Streaming Legends, y'all.
Yeah. We'll do the Streaming Legends part 2 of this. We'll do it soon. Okay, my friend?
Sounds good. Thank you, PJ.
Thank you, Victor.
And feeling you.
Feeling you.
Yeah. Yikes.
Thanks for listening to Streaming Legends with PJ. Make sure to subscribe and leave a rating and review. And don't forget to recommend the show to a friend. For more podcasts and online content, go to thisisfunner.com.